And you are live. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to Mystical Awakenings and Sacred Journeys and Voice of the Elders, all combined.
All
All
combined.
combined. I'm Deb DeRusse,
Oh,
Mrs. Lady
yeah.
Beth. Yeah, I thought it was going to do a countdown, but
But it
it didn't.
didn't.
It didn't. So, darn it. That would have been cool for New Year's Day to do a countdown.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, people laugh, but I've been doing StreamYard for about a year, and I just, Tim Ryan, bless his heart, for about the first, I don't know, 6 or 7 shows, he did it for me. He'd just be in the background doing stuff, and that was awesome. I didn't have to worry about it.
Right.
But
Well,
now,
when you're self-taught at anything, there's going to be other things that you could have done that you didn't know about,
right?
shortcuts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing pretty good for self-taught.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah. We're doing all right. We're here.
Yeah.
Hopefully people are going to join us. We are on Facebook. We're on our YouTube networks, both of them, Voice of the Elders Radio and Mystical Awakenings with RJ and Deb. So you can find us.
What's nice is they can join us later too if we're not even live, if they want to watch the show. I'm sorry, that sunset is just taking my eyes off the camera, and it is bright red and gorgeous.
If you turn the phone, would you be able to see it?
I don't know. Let me try. Oh, you're going to see my messy RV. Can you see over there?
Beth is living in her RV at the moment. No, can't.
Okay.
I saw your commode.
No, that better not be the commode. That's the seats that you drive in.
Oh.
The commode would be the other direction.
Okay, I thought it was a shower and a commode.
Okay, so anyway, there's a beautiful sunset. Sorry, I'm ADD, so squirrel.
Yeah, aren't we all? That's kind of a good thing to start with because, we tell people, so many people who have abilities, mostly mediums, like we are ADD.
Yeah.
And
that's because we live up here in the atmosphere. We don't really earthbound.
Yeah. And we're always getting information, even when we don't know it. So yeah, we squirrel a lot. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't kick yourself if you have that issue.
And you only have so many sunsets in your life, right?
Right.
So you don't want to miss one if you see one.
Absolutely. Reminds me of one time I was driving to I was by myself. I had a Ford Explorer, and I was driving to, where was it in the UP? To a music festival, Cedarville, I think. No, that's not right. Anyways, so I'm driving along, and I'm going down US 2, and I don't know if you know that area. I think you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's right along the lake.
Right.
And the sunset was absolutely gorgeous, to the point I had to pull over, and I whip off the road, and I climb up on top of my vehicle, and I'm standing on it. Of course, I was a little bit younger then, and I'm standing on my vehicle with my phone, and cars are going by yelling at me. The funniest part was, I get to the music festival, and I run into people who said, "Oh my God, you're that woman that was standing on top of your car."
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
No.
That is so funny. Hey, Mandy. Good morning to you. Mandy. You must be on the other part of the world.
She is from the UK. Mandy's a sweetheart, just an absolute spiritual love bomb. I just
top of the morning to you. Oh, that's Ireland, isn't it?
Ireland. Yeah. I believe Mandy's in Australia. Is that right? Yeah. I have quite the past life there. So anytime I meet somebody from Australia, I feel that instant connection.
Yeah, I have a big one to go to New Zealand and Australia. But New Zealand really intrigues me.
Does it? It's beautiful. I mean, I haven't been there, but pictures and stuff.
Someday, maybe.
Yeah. That's not going to be an RV trip, though.
No, no. I'm sorry, Mandy. I got to put my glasses on to read what you said.
She
Just
said,
took my daughter some food while she's at work. Well, that is so
she's
sweet.
so sweet. You are
Yes.
the sweetest person.
I got to talk with my daughter today. It was wonderful. Of course, she's a, grown adult, but it's still wonderful to talk to your daughter no matter what age.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I made contact with my daughter as well, or she made contact with me, I should say. Yeah, and she's, an adult. She's actually a grandmother, so that makes me
Are you a great grandma?
very old. I'm a great grandma.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
isn't that something?
I did not realize that.
Yeah,
I could
and,
be. I could be. That hasn't happened yet.
yeah, we're the same age.
Yeah. I think I'm a little older.
Kevin, howdy, Heidi ho. So
Oh,
Kevin
Kevin
must be at
Howe.
work.
Heidi ho, peeps. Happy New Year from Alpha 4. Are
He
you on
must
another
be.
planet or
Well,
a
Kevin's an
spaceship?
EMT, and I think that's probably his rig for the
Oh,
day.
okay.
But I like the other planet better.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
he's at work.
He's out of this world.
Yeah, he certainly
Yeah.
is.
Mandy said, Kevin says work. Yeah, Mandy. Yeah. I'm glad you guys are here. We're happy to have you.
Yeah. Yep, he's working on the Boo Boo Bus. Kevin
Oh.
just did something really cool. He did feel free to tell us what it was called, Kevin, but it was a fundraiser for animals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was very successful.
That's awesome, Kevin. Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
And Kathy is with us
Kathy.
again. Hi, Kathy.
Hi,
Happy New
Kathy.
Year.
Happy New Year.
That's right. It was called Stuff the Boo Boo Bus. People would bring all these donations for the shelters. And
Well, like they would bring food or money or both.
Probably both. I think supplies and food and money. I'm sure they, take money too.
Blankets and beds maybe and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Kevin says everything. So thank you for doing that, Kevin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love people that recognize that animals are so important.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say we should treat them as equals. And some of us, I guess maybe I'm a little weird, but I kind of feel like animals are more evolved than
I don't think that's weird.
No.
And I think they have the most unconditional love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They do.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan. Happy New
Year.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Well, they filled it front to back. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm reading.
And top to bottom.
Yeah, nice.
Cash donations of almost 1,700. Woohoo!
And that's a really good segue for part of what we were going to talk about. And one of the things I think we all ought to do for 2022 is be more giving and reach out more to organizations and people that need us without judgment.
Right.
And kind of do the pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just going up and say somebody's sweeping off the sidewalks and thanking them for that, thanking them for doing that, or shoveling the snow off the sidewalk or whatever.
Right.
Just acknowledgement is a gift for someone who's out there feeling unappreciated or whatever they might be feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kevin agrees with that. Absolutely, he says.
Yeah.
Mandy says we had to buy ice at the petrol station because my fur granddaughter had epilepsy and the heat gives her fits. Aww.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the animals have got such human-like diseases these days.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, they can even get COVID.
Yeah, I know.
And as you know, I'm
I know. Our
quarantining
little
today.
doggy coughs, and we go, "Oh, you didn't get to have a booster or a shot."
No. Oh, my haunted
Little
diary
doggy
communion.
mask.
Hello, ladies. So I don't know if it's probably Daniel and Stephanie. Hello.
Hi,
We
guys.
love you guys.
We missed you last night, Daniel, but we totally understood.
Oh man, totally.
Yeah, we've been there, done
October.
that, got the tore up T-shirt. Yeah.
Oh, they found COVID in deer. Eek, I
And
didn't
where?
know that. In deer.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what Jonathan is saying. Yeah.
He says gas stations always, and Kevin said, whoops, gas station always give us free coffee and drinks. That's nice. Once a week, I lay $5 or $10 on the counter and tell them to buy the next, however many coffees for people. It's my little thing to do. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, you're not all bad, Kev. Love ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it say underneath us? Oh, you put it up there.
Yeah, I put it up there so you can see it better without.
I know I need to put my glasses on, but I get that
my glasses
shine.
on. And Daniel
So,
says it's both of them.
yeah, they've got these new eye drops for old people. I talked about that a little bit last night. I said I didn't want to be the guinea pig, but it's been approved. You put them in your eyes. I mean, it doesn't fix them permanently. It dilutes them.
Diluted alcohol.
Diluted alcohol. Anyway,
That's our thing now.
So that you can see for like 8 hours normally.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I want something. And then they said, and then the worst was on the news when they were talking about it, they said from ages 35 to 55. And I'm like, no, you don't get to cut it off at 55. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, because then we can't use them.
I don't know. For some reason, maybe we can't.
Well, I'd like to find out. I really
Me too.
would.
Wouldn't that be nice? Put some eye drops in. You could actually read everything.
So Kevin's saying I'm not an asshole all the time. We know that.
We know that. Just some of the I'm kidding.
Everybody is an asshole sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's a part-timer.
Yeah.
Oh, and
We'll
Mandy
admit to the asshole.
Yeah.
Part.
Mandy said she's 55, so she can use them.
She can use them for a year.
Yeah.
Or whatever your birthday is.
Well, let's look into that because
I've seen a couple reports about it, so it must be kind of big news. So it wasn't just some fluke news thing I heard, because I've heard the story a couple times now. Yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to comment, like Kevin, telling us what you do or what you're planning to do to help make the world a better place and a more loving place and raise the vibration, we'd love to hear about it.
New year, new ideas.
Right. Might give us some ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it's tough. There's, it's a fine line. You read about these people that are out panhandling and they really, they have a nice car, a nice house. And so they've taken advantage of that because now you don't really know who really needs. But it's not up to us to decide that, I don't think. No. I think that's between your higher self and you, and them, not us. If you give with the right heart,
I like that, Kevin. Just be nice, for Christ's sake. Yeah.
Hold doors open for each other and say thank you and please. That's gone away too.
Right. And as you said a little while ago, Beth, appreciating, recognizing. I mean, how often, and maybe because I'm older, I notice, like when I even go to the store, people are so involved on their phones, they don't see other people.
Right.
And it makes you feel good when somebody on the street or in the store, anywhere, says hello. They recognize you. It's some form of
Some
communication.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you
Mhm.
as an avatar. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you.
So for, that the whole just be nice, there's so many ways you can do it.
Right. It doesn't mean you have to buy him lunch or spend money or
Mhm.
a smile. Just an understanding look sometimes, and just being kind. It made me think about it when you said about the can't being on your phone. I was talking to someone I hadn't seen in a long time. We're at a dollar store, and they were trying to get the cart straightened up, so we stepped over to the side. I didn't realize we stepped right in front of the doors. Oh, this man was so mad, and he was like, something, ladies, you have to stand right in front of the door. And it was before Christmas, so I said, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, and we moved. And then I went outside, and he's still grumbling, and I said, well, happy holidays to you. He said, well, happy holidays to you too, but you don't have to stand in front of the door. And I said, and you could be nicer about it. I admitted I was wrong. Yeah. It's just, and then I think, well, what happened to him? I want to take it a step further and think, what did he have something bad happen today or in his life that made him so bitter? Or, you never know what the circumstances are. So you just move on. But
yeah. And he's looking maybe for an outlet. He needed to be able to get a little bit of that out, whatever he's holding in, whatever kind of pain he's in that day, he needed an outlet. But
I'm glad I called him out on it too, because I think they need to realize, The wife was like pushing him, like, shut up.
Right. Jonathan says, when I was a kid, I always played outside and had manners. I like that. Still have manners. Technology took over. And our generation really sees it because we didn't grow up with this. Mm-hmm. We've talked about that a lot lately, but it's still surprising to us to see people so involved in technology that they forget to live.
And I don't even think, I've had several conversations with my grandkids, and I still don't think they get it. I think they want to say, okay, boomer. They don't say that to me. They better not. Yeah. But I don't think they understand that it feels disrespectful to us.
Right.
It just does. It's like, I'm right here in front of you, yet you choose to look or talk to somebody that you don't even know is real.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, looky there. Crazy. Tim Miley is here. Hello, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
You missed the whole thing about Kevin Howe raising money for fur babies. Money and equipment and supplies.
The Bow Wow. What was it?
Yeah. The Stuff the
Boo Boo. Stuff the Boo Boo bus.
Yeah, he's an EMT.
For the animals.
Yep. And he organized it. And he's saying hello to Miley.
So we're talking about the whole love thing. I just want to bring this up. I got this book. It's called, I can never do this right, Way of Love.
Way of Love.
Got it at the dollar store, for Pete's sake.
Oh, geez. Love it.
And I wasn't sure I wanted to get it because, and don't take this wrong, but there's a lot of talking about Christian, and nothing wrong with that at all. But I didn't want to read a book about that, I guess. But It's not about that. It's about us going back to really following who Jesus was and what his actions were, which was loving, kindness, forgiveness, loving everybody, no matter what they had done, no matter who they were. And it's all about him trying to convince people to get back to the heart of what used to be Christianity. It's a really cool book, and I got it at the dollar store. So it's a Way of Love by Norman Wirzba. And I just,
awesome.
I
Yeah.
I don't usually read books like that, and it's really got me opening my heart more. I think
Good.
it's books like that what we need right now to
Yeah.
remind ourselves, to catch ourselves in doing unloving acts before we do the unloving act or the unloving thought.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So true. And, if you really think about it, Buddha, Jesus, many before us, that's what they were doing, is teaching love. It wasn't a religion.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with religion.
Mm-mm.
It had everything to do with love.
Right.
Love and
And
kindness.
I've always said that. I always said Jesus was such a loving prophet. How did his image get so distorted into really hateful things?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I'm enjoying the book so much, because it kind of speaks to what I've always thought, So
yeah.
I'm missing some of the chat here.
Yeah. It's
all about love and light. Yeah. Share this to tribe. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Candace.
Yeah. And Kathy had
Andrea is a great example. Yeah, Andrea is a great example of love.
She is. When I'm out in public in my wheelchair, I make it a point of looking up at people and acknowledging them in hopes that they will step away from that electronic item and acknowledge another human being. Good for you. I love that.
I do too.
I do that too. Sometimes I'll play little games, like if I'm in Walmart, I will purposely look at people and smile to see if I can get them to look back.
Right.
And sometimes I get some dirty looks and, weird looks.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Even that could anger them a little bit if they're already in a place of not being happy with themselves. So, yeah, it's interesting to see the dynamics out there right now. But young people, if you're listening, us old people get our feelings hurt if you pay more attention to your phone than us.
Right.
We're not going to be here that long. I'm going to do the guilt thing.
There you go. And it's, not only younger people. It's mostly younger people than us because, again, we weren't raised with these things. But I know some people in our lives who are not young and are very into
their phones.
Their phone. Yeah.
Well, also, I'll tell you another thing that somebody around our age, if the little beeper goes off on your phone that says you have a message, I can be in the middle of a conversation and they totally ignore me and have to see what that little message was that came up on the phone. I'm like,
right.
Seriously? And it makes you shut down. It makes you feel like, okay, I'm not going to talk, which, is really unusual for me.
Yeah. Well, growing up, we grew up with a telephone that hung on the wall. And that was some people had two or more. I don't know. We had one.
We didn't. We had a 6 foot. We had a 6 foot cord though.
Well,
you could go in the bathroom and shut the door.
I remember when we got one, and I could go to the basement stairs and close the door. I was about 12, 11. 12.
Me too.
But,
and remember the party lines? People could listen in on your conversation if they wanted to.
Lines. You try to use the phone and somebody be talking, you'd have to hang up and wait your turn.
And ours was 2 short rings and there was 1 long ring. That's how you knew the difference.
Yeah. Aw, Brenda. Brenda Bowles is
Hi, Brenda.
An old dear friend of mine. Her mother and I were very close. We used to work together, 30 years ago. Maybe a little more, Brenda. But I've known Brenda since she was in her teens. So it's great.
Nice. Hi, Brenda. Welcome.
And if your smile makes one person's day, it's worth it. Amen. And that's how I feel. And that's why I'll walk through the store and smile at people, even if they,
Right.
don't like it.
Maybe it doesn't affect them that moment, but maybe later it will. You know?
Tim Miley, darn you, I'm going to spank you. You're right.
What do you say?
The ironic thing is, I'm watching you on the very technology that you love.
That's true. That's true. It makes the world small. We wouldn't have got to talk to, I'm sorry,
Mandy
from Australia.
Yeah, Mandy. Right.
We would never know her if it wasn't.
Yeah.
So good and bad, balance.
Right.
I think what we're talking about, Tim, is the balance. Some people are, and especially like our grandkids, are so into their devices that it makes us feel neglected.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we use devices when we do paranormal investigations and all kinds of other things. So, no, I don't think we hate them or loathe.
I YouTube all my problems.
Right.
And they get fixed from YouTube. What's that?
My kids taught me that.
Yeah.
I'll ask one of the kids, how do I do this? Mom,
YouTube it.
Anything is on YouTube. Anything that's broken or you can't figure it, look it up.
Do you know how much money it saved us on the RV repairs and figuring out what was wrong and everything? What to buy next? What's a good fix? What's the best product to buy for whatever you're looking for?
Right.
Yeah.
And technology has its place.
Yes.
I'm not totally against it. The only thing that some of us have an issue with is people have gotten so used to texting and being on their phones that they don't recognize other human beings. Right.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to be together last night for New Year's has not been for technology.
Right.
But like Deb said, it's just it'd be like me being on the show and I had guests here that I was totally ignoring because I wanted to talk to everybody else and ignore them. It doesn't, isn't that rude? I think that's rude.
It is a balance. And, a lot of people, in fact, I have a child who despises Facebook. Yeah, it's all hate. It's all, well, I guess it depends on how you use it. Mm-hmm. I've blocked and deleted a lot of the hateful people.
Me too.
I have to be honest, but I have found some long lost family members and friends and, Tim Miley, it seems like when I'm having a really bad day, he'll just pop it in on Facebook Messenger and say, hey, I love you.
Oh, so sweet. So
to me, that being able to connect with people and meeting people like Mandy. I looked at Kevin and almost said Brandy because that's his wife, but
yeah, Mandy said about COVID. That's true. That's the only way some people got to see their family at all.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my son bought me, I don't know what it is because I haven't figured it out yet, but it goes on your TV. It's something to do with Facebook. And then I can visit with my family like we are, but bigger on the TV.
Like video chat,
and I guess it moves with you. So if you move, it'll follow you. So he bought me that so that we could be together while we're on the road. So that's cool.
Okay. Beth and I. Okay. Kevin says, the sad thing is a lot of the younger generation don't know how to sit and carry on an actual conversation face to face. It's lost its art these days. Yeah. And I guess that's kind of what we're saying is,
find the balance.
Yeah. And, I'm so bad. I have to tell you, my kids, I'll be in one room and they're in another room. Sometimes I pick up my phone and text them because I know that's going to get their attention.
Yeah. I've done it to Barry just to be silly when he's sitting 3 feet away from me.
Yeah.
Hello, are you going to pay attention to me? Yeah.
Connie, good point. It is sad to see a family out together eating and they are all on their phones.
Yeah.
How often do you see that in a restaurant? You see a whole table of people all sitting there on their phones.
Yeah, I went in one night from a campfire because everybody was on their phones and I was wanting to talk and do campfire stuff. And I, it almost felt like they were talking about you to each other. You know what I mean? You could even get that impression. Like, okay, I'm going to go in now.
Right. Yeah, I guess it would be the same as, when you're younger and you have 3 friends together and 2 of them are whispering.
Yeah.
You always feel like they're talking about you. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm that puts me to where I've even before technology, it used to amaze me that people don't look up very often. I mean, like when we're outside, we see the hawks and the eagles and we see all that bird activity. And there's so many people that the eagle could fly right over their head and they would never see it. Right. So even before technology, we were a little bit focused with blinders on just our immediate world in front of us. Because I think it's busy lives, know?
Yeah. And, we were talking about Flower of Life on our show last night. And that's one of the things that I miss is a whole weekend of all of us looking up to the skies. We didn't miss any of the birds or the planes or the UFOs or anything that was there because
we're looking and we're aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're waiting for those signs.
Yeah. And love them. So Mandy, I wouldn't have been so honored in meeting you guys if I didn't have Facebook.
Exactly. That's what we were saying, Mandy.
I actually
we wouldn't have known you.
Yeah. So yeah, we're grateful.
Yeah.
We are grateful. And
like our travels, I can look up anything to see what's in the area to go see. Yeah. Go see it, go do it, experience it, and get me there without unfolding that map and being lost and having to act a gas station which way this road is.
or back in our day, trying to get the husband to stop at a gas station.
Oh, no kidding. Even today.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If we don't.
So Tim was being a shit with the technology thing, but that brought up a good point. There is good to it.
There is.
Okay.
Nowadays, since I've gotten used to it, we'd be kind of lost,
Yeah.
But another bad thing is we don't remember phone numbers. And not to bring up bad subjects, but I didn't know my son was injured for 3 days because he was in and out of consciousness. And of course, he didn't have my phone number memorized. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you my phone number when I was 12,
Well, I can tell you that my one of my first boyfriends, his telephone number I still use as some of my passwords.
Oh, yeah?
Because I remember his telephone number.
Yeah.
But nowadays, if I want to know like you said, my son's number, I have to look it up.
Right.
Because he's in my phone with his name. So.
And here's another clue that I don't think a lot of people know. And Kevin, I don't know if you guys utilize this or not, but I put my husband under ice in case of emergency. Because say I was knocked out or nobody knew me, they could look at my phone and say, who's the person she would want us to contact? And so Barry's under ice, ICE, in case of emergency. So that's a little clue.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. So here
and does everybody know about this now? I don't know if I can do it because my hands are arthritic. If you see somebody doing this, it means they're being abducted or they need help. They're being held up front. So if somebody's doing that in the back seat of a car or something, you should call 911.
Oh, that's good to know too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, people.
It just happened. It just happened recently where somebody happened to know that sign language or whatever it is, and saved a girl.
Good.
Yeah.
Denise,
So
call
it's
my
thumb
Denise.
in and then bring your fingers over. I can't do it with this hand because of the arthritis. Oh, maybe I can. Ow.
So Denise says we use it in our country. ICE. So
Oh, yeah. In case of emergency.
yeah,
And that way the cops or the paramedics can go into the phone and say, this is who we should contact.
right. Yeah, Mandy said, my luck, they would wave back, thinking you're waving at them.
Oh, yeah, I imagine there was people that do that. And I'm afraid it's going to, now that everybody knows about it, like kids will be doing it in the back seat and stuff. I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, you know,
Better safe than sorry, though.
better safe than sorry. You know,
Yeah.
how many times poor 911. I know my sister used to work for a sheriff's department. She was dispatch. And so many, you know, this is when cell phones first got really big. And kids were always getting cell phones and calling 911. Just because it was a number they knew, or
I think it's like you get charged now, don't you? Or
I
something.
don't know. I don't know.
So.
If
It'd be hard to
Maureen
charge a
was-
kid, but
Yeah,
the parents, I guess.
it happens. And I'm sure a lot of the calls they get are, you know, not really emergencies.
Oh, yeah.
Even some,
Ordering a pizza.
yeah, right, right. So, do we have any predictions for 2022?
You know, I haven't even been thinking about that. And I usually write them today
Mhm.
or last night. I don't know if part of what I'm feeling is just being optimistic and I want to believe it. I'm trying to figure out that feeling, but I feel like we're on the upswing, even though we have some little bumps in the road. I'm not going to say it's going to be a bump-free year. I don't feel that at all. I feel like it's going to be a pretty bumpy year,
Oh, geez.
but not big bumps. You know what I mean? Small bumps.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I
Not
had to
like-
block somebody.
Oh, not like the big hill. Oh my goodness. Why are people like that?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know. So you're optimistic for the year. It's going to be more.
I
Instead of-
am, but I think it's still going to be okay. Let's say we're going down a road. I don't think it's going to be a sleek highway that we're going down. I think it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy road that we're going down, but not a mountainous hill, not a mountainous road.
Oh,
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. I feel like we still got a lot to work out and figure out. But I think there's going to be some big stuff happening too that will help with the healing. Some things that get put to rest.
Good. Good. I
Yeah.
like that. John,
But I don't think it ever happens as quickly as we want it to. You know what I mean? So
Jonathan says, I really hope we can make COVID an endemic.
yeah, good point.
I would like that too. You know, I kind
Yeah.
of feel like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I kind of feel like COVID's here to stay.
Yeah, I think we're going to be taking shots for it.
The flu, a lot of the other things that we, have had and have just stuck around. Some of these things, like, I remember being a kid and we'd get the measles and mumps MMR shot, but
Yeah.
so many of our friends had measles, had mumps, had
Yeah.
all this
You still
terrible
had
stuff.
them. Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
get through it. Now you rarely hear about it. I mean, I haven't heard of anyone having measles in years.
Right.
It's still
Yeah,
a
you're right.
possibility. It's not like it's
Or
totally gone.
lockjaw or,
Right. Yeah.
hoof and mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen with COVID is it's not going to really go away, but it's going to just be a part of for a while. And then,
Right.
after a while, things will get better. Let's see. will always be here, but have it under control like the flu. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
know, some people still get very, very sick from the flu. So
Well, what I'm optimistic about, and this is great news for my granddaughter who's type 1 diabetes. Now, anybody who doesn't understand this, it is not type 2. She can't control it with diet.
right.
She doesn't make insulin, period. They are finding that a stem cell blood transfusion thing is starting to allow you, like the guys went from daily highs to only a couple highs during the day, and it's starting to regulate the blood so that the pancreas starts working again.
Wow.
And I mean, isn't that awesome? And here's the thing.
Yeah.
They had known this for a few years, but there was no funding.
Oh my
Think
God.
how far ahead we'd be now.
Oh, geez.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
It all depends what disease it is that gets the money, whatever gets the attention.
you know, the sad thing is type 1 diabetes hits so many kids. And they
Yeah.
live, I mean, it's horrible what they have to do
It's horrible.
and how the fear.
Right.
Even for family members like you, Beth, being grandma, I know you've been, you know, really, really super cautious and really.
Right. They've had a lot of breakthroughs. I will give them credit, but
Mhm.
it's still scary as hell.
Yeah.
Saying.
So,
And you
that's
know,
going to
her
get better
future,
this
you
year.
wonder, you worry about her being pregnant someday, and you worry about, you know, her being away at college and not having that extra protection of mom to wake her up. And it's a lot of worry.
It is.
But I'm hopeful.
Yes. Yes.
And if it was done in her lifetime, how great would that be?
Right. Yeah. And I think, you know, medically, we're making some pretty big breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to get better and better and better because people are getting, I think people are getting overall more scientific, really digging into, you know, the root of things, a lot of the diseases and issues that we have. And instead of supplying so many Band-Aids, they're more into let's fix the problem.
Right.
Well, we know this guy. Hi, honey.
RJ!
He was on with us last night.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't seen you since last year, RJ.
No, because we were on it. Well, no, it wasn't midnight your time yet.
It wasn't midnight my time.
Right.
Yeah. I'm an hour behind. I'm in Texas traveling.
Yeah,
You didn't know that.
Hopefully a cure for HIV and other diseases.
Yeah, there's good breakthroughs with that too.
Yeah.
And if you think about the time that the Wright brothers took flight to what they're doing now, I mean, this is what, 100 years, maybe not even that. And they've been able to process, just like us with our phone on the, who would have thought we would have these computers and these things we carry around in our pockets? And
well, I don't know. You know, I was pretty into the Jetsons when I was a kid.
Yeah. And we still don't have jetpacks. So somebody's fallen asleep there.
I know it. Yeah, there are things we don't have, but there are some that we do.
I know. And I'd rather they put the money towards curing diseases. So
Yeah.
I'm good.
I agree. I agree. So if anybody in the out there wants to make any predictions for the year.
Yeah, what was your predictions, Bob?
You know, mine is a lot like yours. Yeah, it's been a long time. Crazy, man. I don't feel like we're going to just sail into 22 and everything is going to be smooth.
No.
I have a little bit of anxiety about 22. And I think because, you know, things have been so tidal wave, you know, it's been so insane. But I do feel like it's going to get smoother and smoother throughout the year.
Yeah.
But toward the end of the
year,
I agree. Things might ramp up a little bit more. You know, it's definitely time for people to work toward ending the division. I can't give an answer
Well,
on
if
that.
they would just believe what I do, everything would be
Right.
fine.
Connie says, I wish I had the robot made. Me too.
I wish I had Rosie.
Yes,
Rosie,
Rosie.
yeah.
But you know, they have
Oh, I
those
want a
vacuums
Rosie.
now.
I either want Rosie or a wife. I don't know which one I want. Maybe both. I say that to Barry all the time. I would like to have a wife. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
A wife that likes to clean, a wife that likes to cook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of wife. I don't want to make her do it.
No, but it'd be nice to have that help, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. For sure. But another thing I've been kind of feeling coming into this year is that, and this might sound totally insane, but I feel like politics are going to kind of be different.
I think they're going to have to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to have to be more of a melding, more of a just eliminating and smoothing.
Boy, I hope you're right about that.
Yeah, I do too.
I think
Yes,
we're all
Mandy
fatigued about
has a wife.
that. Yeah, well, Mandy, I need to get one.
I hope
Deb's
she helps
taken.
you a lot.
Deb's taken.
But we are wives.
I can see a sister wife. I can kind of
Oh, yeah,
see that, you know,
absolutely.
as long as I could have brother husbands. Whatever. It just has to be fair. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I can see how it is. I can't think of the word. I'm having trouble with words anymore. Inviting to have another woman in your house that you can talk to, that understands you, that helps with the load and all those things. And I know this sounds sexist because it shouldn't be a woman's load, but I don't know. I kind of get it, but I'm not going to say I would do it because I'm too opinionated and stubborn. But yeah, I could see how somebody would be drawn into that.
Well, and that's something, you know, I'm going to open a can of worms. Gender is too highly rated. I mean, we are all humans. We're all people. Gender shouldn't matter.
I so agree. Love is love. It doesn't matter. And I think we're seeing our grandkids embrace this.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, a lot of my kids, they're keeping their judgment about who they're going to love or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's because we're on a more spiritual level. Don't you think?
I think so.
And it's no longer about, you know, the idea of a man and a man's role and a woman's role. We're coming into, you know, the soul has no gender.
Right.
Souls all work together for the betterment of everything.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter what our body says. You know, when we were in the uterus, we were all male for a certain amount of time, right? So just because mine turned into a vagina, like I tell my family, you know, that doesn't mean I should have to do all the housework.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So,
and yes, we miss Betty White terribly.
Yes.
I kind of get it that she just was done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
And kudos to her for going out with a bang.
Yeah.
And saying,
literally.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go be with the others.
Did you know you can do that? you can have your ashes put in a firework.
Oh, really? No, I did
Yeah.
not.
How
That's
cool
cool.
is that?
Yeah.
I don't like fireworks, but if you liked them,
I know. We have fur babies that, are frightened. So no, we don't like fireworks. But yeah,
this
that's
RV
interesting.
park went crazy last night, and I was like, luckily, the two we have now aren't as scared, but I would have been beside myself if Wanagista would have been with us because he would have been slobbering and panting and the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And vets don't do so well with it either, who had PTSD.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And people with anxiety issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even us ADD people, we don't like loud noises.
No, we don't.
Yeah, or bright lights. Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Kathy, in my neighborhood, they shoot fireworks. Oh, poor kitty.
So Kitty was under her bed all night.
Aw. And Mandy, that's great that your kids have been supportive.
Yeah.
I love this new, I hate to say new, but it is new way of thinking that we don't live in the fear that I'm sorry, the pilgrims brought to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're evolving, thank goodness. And I think,
Almost.
most humans are so ready, beyond being ready.
Yes.
To evolve beyond a lot of the BS that's going on.
Right.
And sometimes I think, Beth, like our team, we started out, doing paranormal research, the normal ghost hunters. And we've evolved so far beyond that.
And I love it.
I do too. I
think I would have had to bow out if we would have just stayed with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead. People don't know what we're talking about. So go ahead.
But our team is evolved. And we do, I think a lot of it's thanks to Daniel with the experiments. But overall, the whole team has evolved.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's you guys too. You brought UFOs into us.
Right.
Sasquatch, other ways of thinking.
Yeah. Well, but we've all done it collectively as well.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that the whole paranormal community, which I absolutely love, I'm so happy to be a part of the paranormal community because most are really amazing people.
They are.
But I sometimes wonder, did this whole paranormal thing come to surface because of our evolution and helping people to see, number one, there is no true death. Yes, spirits are everywhere. No, your house is.
And we had to get rid of that Puritan fear once again.
Exactly.
That this is anything you mess with or you don't, all this fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've moved beyond, when I first got into it, and Beth, you're a medium as well, I think kind of happened by accident. I did readings and house cleansings and stuff. Ended up doing paranormal work many years ago, 40 plus. But part of the reason I did that is I wanted to prove to people that they exist, that spirits exist.
Yeah, because we knew they do. We know they do.
Yeah, we know they do. It's not a wonder. We communicate with them. We see them, So we wanted everybody to be able to see what we see, basically.
Right.
So then we kind of moved on to life from other planets.
Which is a lot of evidence for that.
Absolutely.
Just go look at the petroglyphs.
Oh man, it's everywhere.
The pyramids. Yeah.
And then all this stuff comes out about, Bigfoot. Of course, people have been reporting Bigfoot for many, many years.
And tribes, Native American tribes.
Exactly. Native American tribes not only, had connection with Bigfoot, but aliens, ETs.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Star people. Star
but
people.
as we're evolving, okay, I think my whole point was ADD. We get into the paranormal. We got into the paranormal because we had this need to prove
Right.
spirits exist. The whole field has evolved and opened up to other things existing. What is our
Right.
true reality? Are we
Yeah.
interdimensional? Are we multidimensional? Absolutely.
Right.
But, 30 years ago, before ghost hunting, a lot of people would have said, no, this exists, nothing else. What I see right
Right.
in front of me.
It's
Is
that
that a
fear
ghost?
thing again. That fear that, and I hate to say it, a lot of it was fundamentalists banging into our heads that we would burn in hell if we didn't believe what they were telling us we had to believe. Not
Right.
just reading a book for yourself and deciding, not just feeling it from your spirit what was true. Yeah, just all this fear. And that's true with even us, Dad. To this day, I know you still get, just like I do, that what you do is evil. Oh my God, I told you that story about, we have on the side of our car, my superpower is psychic, what's yours, or something like that. And this minister in his full garb with his collar was walking by our car, and he stops dead in his feet, in his path. He reads everything that's on our car and just keeps looking around at it. I mean, you could just see you could see the judgment of it, and we got a kick out of it. We kind of giggled to ourselves, and Barry turned to me and went, "You pagan Jew." So it still exists, all that fear.
Oh, it does, but it's it's all growing. We are evolving.
I think the next generations are going to wipe it out more.
Right. Yeah. It's a process.
It
We
is.
still get a lot of judgment and hatred, and we are the Satanist, whatever. But people are realizing what's going on. I gotta see.
It's so funny because we just got over the holidays, and so many of the things that people that are pious do is pagan. You bring a tree into your house, pagan. You put a wreath on your door, pagan.
Well,
you put the Yule log. I'm sorry, what?
I said, truth be known, all of the holidays are pagan holidays. Were pagan.
Yeah,
holidays.
they were.
Yeah.
And my understanding was the church wanted to do away with that, so they put another holiday on their holiday on top, because they've almost proven that there's no way Jesus was born in the winter.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either Daniel or Stephanie says pushing the envelope as to what reality is. There is so much strange out there, but what is it really? What is it really?
I know. Is it different dimensions? Is it, I do that future Beth thing all the time. Works great for me. And are we talking to ourselves? Are we haunting ourselves? It almost makes your head hurt to think of all the possibilities.
We are soul. So, our dense body is stuck in this third dimension of time and space, but is our soul.
Right.
So we could be our past self, our future self, our ET self, all at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you were trying to read?
I was trying to read Jonathan's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you live near Andrea's farmhouse. Yeah, I bet you can feel the Native American spirits there.
And there's more alien activity now. I think what I see is there's more, not only more activity, but we are seeing it more. It's being reported a little bit more. There's still a lot of people really afraid to report any kind of activity. I know even for myself, I really didn't want to, but I did.
Yeah, you kind of hedged on that a little bit.
I did. I didn't want to put myself out there because as soon as you say, hey, I had this experience and I was abducted, people think you're really crazy.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Like the paranormal community goes, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You don't get to believe one thing and not have an open mind about everything else,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, but we kind of got that open mind at the same time, didn't we, Beth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brought that brain right open. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was
2016. And it's such a freeing place to be.
Mm-hmm.
To have an open mind is a freeing place to be. You don't have to stay in your little cubicle and not believe it's evil, or I'm fearful that, just have an open mind.
Have an open mind. There's a lot that exists in our universe. Not everything is in our dimension, but I think it's all reachable.
Right.
Kathy says, I have learned over the years to acknowledge and respect the spirits that stay around me constantly.
Yep.
And I think it's fair to say, Kathy, kudos to you, number one. I think that it's fair to speak for Beth as well when I say that most of the time when I've gone into a home, when we've gone into homes, the spirits that are around are actually family or friends or somebody that means no harm at all. They're not there to haunt or cause problems. Can it be scary? Oh, yeah. It can be very scary.
And so be respectful. If you're going to go do some investigation, ask to come into the house, ask to come into the room. Ask, you'll get an answer.
Yeah.
And if they say no, you respect that. You respect it.
Yeah.
It's no different than knocking on somebody's door. And if they said, no, you can't come in, you're not going to go in. I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
if someone came into your home and, they were
stomped their feet and said, challenge them.
Yeah. Do it again. I dare you,
Yeah, I dare you. You can't. You're weak. Yeah. How would you feel if somebody walked into your house and said that?
I'd be telling them to get the F out too.
I'd be scratching their ass too.
Oh, geez. Okay. Mandy, my mother reported my experience, and we had an officer from the Air Force come out, but this guy was amazing by telling me I wasn't going mad. And I'll tell you, that's a lot of it. When you have an experience, that's for myself. I can speak only for myself. When I had my experience and then realized I had missing time, I kept thinking I must be making this up. There's got to be something. I've got to be going crazy. You go crazy with that, thinking that it's all in your head. Something's wrong. And Bill Konklowski,
I've had a stroke.
Bill is our state director for MUFON, and I had to kind of quiz him a little bit. When I realized I had missing time, I wrote to him on Facebook. I'm like, Bill, if I were abducted, I'd know it, right? Because I'm thinking, how can I have this missing time and not know anything happened? I've got to be losing my mind. I need to just go to a nut house right now.
Right.
And then he wrote back, no, they're experts at erasing memory. Most people don't even have an idea or a clue
Right.
that they were taken. But, that wasn't good news for me. The thought of being crazy was a little bit better than the thought of being abducted because I had no say.
Yeah. That brings up all kinds of issues.
Oh, it does. It does. I felt so violated. I felt raped. I really did.
Yeah.
Because, firstly, I was driving a car. And that makes me realize they can take you anytime, any place they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Yeah, I'm going to get off that. I tend to still, that happened in 2016, as you know, Beth, but I still get really emotional about it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago when you think about it,
No, a little more than 5 years. So.
Yeah, and you had years of processing as well,
Right. Yeah, and I think partly being a female who, in my youth, had been raped.
Right.
I think that might have added to it.
Right.
Because that all came back.
Right. Let's see what people are saying.
Okay.
Kathy said that was the weekend she met you. Yeah. Okay, somebody asked about communicate. Oh, Emily. Hi, Emily. I got a spirit box for Christmas, and I want to communicate with the spirits of my house. Do you have any tips? Do protection. First of all, do protection.
Yep. Be specific on.
Be respectful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be respectful.
Don't challenge. Don't challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, maybe if I had time, I could come and play with you because I love spirit boxes. You can get a lot of information.
Sure can.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to the Hanging Tree. We're going to do EVPs and some EchoVox there.
Wow.
So we're going to see what we get. And I know there's at least, I think a couple hundred men have been hung there. Some of them were, they had the court right under the tree. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the people were convicted, they would be hung. And then during one of the wars, it was used as a hang the prisoners thing, so.
Jeez.
Lots of tragedy there. And
so
just
really
see if we can get
hanging tree.
It really is a hanging tree. Yeah.
Goodness.
And we'll have a chance to tell them that we're sorry that this is how, even if they were criminals, that wasn't the way to be treated or.
Right.
And there was probably a lot of injustice. If you convict them right under the tree and then hang them, there's no time for appeal.
Right. And how many times? I mean, how often are people wrongly accused and convicted of crimes they didn't commit?
Right. Did you want to be on camera? My earless cat wanted to be on camera, I guess.
So sweet.
Here, show him. Say, I lost my ears when Mom and Dad got me because I was minus 30. And my ears were, help me, what's the word? Frozen. Frostbite. Thank you. Yeah. And I found one ear in one part of the room and one ear in the other part of the room. Yeah, but he's still handsome.
You guys rescued him and saved him, and he's a good boy. So sweet.
His name, can you see why his name's Loverbug?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can. So Emily says that she can bring the spirit box by the shop. That would be cool, Emily.
Oh, that'd be.
We have many spirits in the shop. Many.
Maybe you'll get some answers, huh? more answers.
Yeah. I know some of them, and I don't feel
Yeah.
threatened.
No, I know you don't.
Jonathan. Yeah.
You talk to him without the spirit box, so it's okay.
But isn't it great when other people can hear them? Like
Yes.
if we do a case, we're on an investigation, and you and I sometimes communicate with different spirits, sometimes the same ones.
Right.
But when we get EVPs that back that up, and then the rest of the team can hear them too.
Right.
I love that. I love that.
And another thing that's happened with our team is they have opened up psychically and intuitive more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's been amazing to watch that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has. Yeah, really, we can't say there's anybody on the team that is not psychic.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Yeah, they everyone on our team feels spirit, senses spirit, gets psychic information. I mean,
Yeah, we
Daniel
need
is
to
really
work with Stephanie a little bit because she gets a lot of the sick. She gets like headaches and stomach aches and all that kind of stuff that we need. We need to work more on protection with her because she,
right. She picks
even though
up
we've
the
done
medical.
some, it still comes through and she still gets
yeah,
hair that the cat so she still gets those side effects that aren't very pleasant when you're out doing an investigation. So
right. Yeah. I used to get more of that, and I think I just protect more. Sometimes I still, and I'm sure you do too, Beth, like when we're doing readings or walk into a place, sometimes you're hit with something that
yeah, absolutely.
But it's not.
Yeah, I don't mind like when I'm doing a reading if a spirit wants me to know what they died of, give it to me for 5 seconds and then take it off of me. I don't need it anymore. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like poor Stephanie, it's almost like she has that, it's an empath thing, but for the other side. And she'll just take this stuff on. I don't think she does it on purpose.
No, she doesn't do it on purpose. Matter of fact, I think she wishes she didn't have that. But
yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Now, what did Mandy say? I was terrified to the point I'd slept with my mother. I must have missed something.
Well, she said her mother reported her experience.
Oh.
And the officer told her she wasn't going mad. Yeah. I can't, that's a lot of the reason that we are so focused on experiencers at the Michigan UFO Contact is because I think it's so critically important that people that have been through this have people to talk to and people
have a community. Yeah.
I believe you. Those words are life-saving.
Oh, yeah.
Very powerful because you really feel like nobody's going to believe you.
Right.
Nobody does believe you. It's the emotional trauma that people go through. I don't even remember. I've gotten bits and pieces of my abduction, through dreams and downloads since it happened. But I didn't come back with the memory of, they took me and did this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still so highly emotionally traumatic.
Charged, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, it's super important for people like Manny to be able to talk about it. Anybody that's had an experience, even if you weren't taken, sometimes people are, really, really affected.
Right.
The very first time I met Travis Walton, I think was in 2011.
Right.
He was speaking, and if you don't know who Travis Walton is, you don't live on this planet, but Um, he was abducted in the 70s. The movie Fire in the Sky, or the book, was the movie titled the same?
No, I think it was called, wasn't it called like Abduction or something?
I don't know.
I don't,
Somebody.
I don't know. Somebody knows, let us know.
Mhm. But when I first heard him speak, I was sitting in the audience, of course, listening and thinking, I wonder if he's telling the truth.
Right.
I had doubts because some of the things he was saying was so off the wall. And all of a sudden he hit a spot where, I mean, this was many years ago, but it was emotional for him. And a tear came out and I could see his lips quivering. And I thought, he really lived through this.
Right.
He really did. But why
Right.
is he so emotional after all these years? He should be
Now
over
you
it.
understand, don't you?
Now I get it. Now I get it. It does never leave you. No.
Sorry, I had to bend down to get my dog. Now Banjo wants to say hello.
Aww.
Wait a minute. Say hi.
Hey, Banjo.
Say hi.
Hello, buddy, too. He missed you.
He's tired. He had a big day of sleeping. No, we went bye-bye. He got tired.
You know, it's New Year's Day. Everybody's pooped out.
Yeah.
And Mandy, I totally get that too. She said I had a lot of depression. Girl, talk to people. Seriously, don't hold it in. Contact me. I'll give you my phone number. Hit me up on Facebook. I don't care. But
And people that had other paranormal experiences have had the same symptoms too. I mean, you know, sometimes if you've gotten touched or scratched or visited by a spirit, you can have
Right.
trauma from that too.
Oh yeah, because you know, and that's another thing where people don't believe.
Right.
So, you know, to have someone say, I believe you,
Mm-hmm.
can really,
It's powerful.
you know, be powerful. Jonathan, I know people who don't believe, and it hurts when they say they don't.
Right.
But you can't force them. And that's so true. And for me, I don't try to. You know, I just don't try to.
No, how can we say we judge somebody else's experience, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I know there's people that have done it, have said things or made them bigger for attention, or for they made it bigger in their brain than it
Right.
was,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they had a drug problem, or so there is that, but we still don't get to be the judge of it. Even if somebody was on drugs and they had an experience, how do we know that experience wasn't true? Maybe
No.
that's when they were the most susceptible for spirit or something evil to come through.
Right. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Never
So
know.
who are we to say? I mean, I'm a poo-pooer of orbs, but why should I be?
Yeah.
You know, orbs,
Well,
just because I think it's dust and stuff doesn't mean there isn't other orbs that aren't.
yeah. And I'm sure, you know, some orbs are spirit.
Yeah. It's
We've
energy,
done the
right?
paranormal
Energy.
for many years. You know, we've seen so many videos and sat through, you know, viewing evidence for hours and hours and hours and days and hours. And having people send videos and photos, and, you know, you learn. We just learned that's dust,
Right.
or that's a bug.
A bat.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes if you see, you know, a big ball of light moving in front of you with your naked eye, something's going on. You know,
Yeah.
no shit, something's happening.
Yeah.
Because
There's some kind of energy there. We don't know what it is,
Right.
but there's some kind
Right.
of energy there.
So you're right, not all orbs are dust, but yeah, we've kind of learned that most are.
But my point is, even us who think we have an open mind can close it pretty fast when we have
Yeah.
a belief system that
That's
doesn't
true.
fit our agenda. you know.
Mhm. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't deny that because I know people come in the store all the time and, oh, I've got something to show you. Let me show you my orbs. And I'm thinking,
You're like, oh,
more orbs.
let me show you my orbs.
So, yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, I get skeptical. I
Yeah.
do. And I should be more open-minded.
Right.
Okay, so Michelle says, I often ask myself if I've had encounters and not just seen them as such, but I find myself doubting those experiences more than any other.
Yep. Yep.
Michelle, I
Yep.
can tell you that I've been visited all my life, didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue
Right.
until after I had the proven abduction, the lost time, and Beth, you were part of that, figuring that out. But then talking to people like Bill Konklowski, Kathleen Martin, she's the niece of Betty and Barney Hill. So many people who have dealt with this for forever have helped me to realize I've had many encounters through my life, and I just poo-pooed them as, oh, I forgot, or
right.
something. So yeah, that's very valid.
But it is good to be skeptical. Just recently, my cousin got a hold of me, his wife, and she said, I've had a life-changing experience. I had never really seen a UFO before, but we saw one the other night. And she explained what it looked like. And I said, well, it's very possible, but you need to go on MUFON and report it. And she goes, I had to explain who MUFON was. So I said, let me send you the link. Well, as soon as I clicked on MUFON, it had exactly what she was talking about. And guess what it was? SpaceX putting their satellites out for the cell services.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was able to show her the pictures and say, this is what you saw. It is a little disappointing.
Right.
Because you think you really had this paranormal experience. And but it's good to do that. I mean, just like that little boy, we had a picture that looked just like a little boy standing in the one in Reed City, Osceola Land. It was a little boy, I'm telling you. Well, when we got a different angle of it, it was a chair and something else, And that was so disappointing because we thought we had a full-fledged picture of a spirit. And actually Gail's the one that caught it and said, and I wanted to punch her.
Yeah. Well, we've had homeowners want to punch us when we've had to say.
Yeah. Because you have to kind of break it to them.
We debunked this. Yep. Okay, where am I? In the movie The Entity, when the woman's friend turned to her and said, I believe you, was a huge part of that movie. Bingo, Mandy.
Yeah.
As human beings, as people, as souls, we need to do that. We need to stick together. Right. We need to believe one another. Yeah. Jonathan, I've never seen a ghost, but I've had things randomly fall or turn on with no good explanation. Odds are you're not going to see a ghost. It takes a lot for them to manifest and be seen. Some people just can't see, some can. But they're there, Jonathan. You're there, or they are there. And as Andrea says, once the door opens to spirit, it never closes. It expands. Yeah. So true. So true. And that's what we want, is we want to be able to see beyond that door. I can tell when she's trying to read, the glasses go on.
The glasses come up. I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm caught up. I'm caught up.
She's caught up. So does anybody have questions or
something you want us to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, we're just rattling on about, what we want to rattle on about. I wonder how much telepathy plays a part. Seems like people are more likely to accept ghosts than something they are causing.
Well, we always talk about the chicken or the egg, which came first, because in some hauntings, not all, some, you have people that have issues. Either they're not in a happy place with the relationship, or maybe they have some mental things they're working on. And you think, okay, did their activity come from them being able to draw it in because they saw a weakness, that spirit, that entity saw a weakness and came? Or did the entity cause them to have unhappiness in their lives or mental issues?
Exactly.
So it's a pretty big subject.
Yeah.
But telepathy, yeah, I mean, I just like Deb, I have a freeway going through my hallway, and you really have to learn. I hate to say ignore it, but you have to shut it off. I would go crazy if I watched everybody walk through my hallway all day long.
Yeah.
So you do have to do
it's
a
not
shut
only
off.
human spirit. You have some cute little other spirits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live right by a water source, so it is a balance, and I don't know, Deb, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, telepathy, a lot of times it's tricky because many mediums, it's all telepathic. Now, I usually hear spirit, but a lot of times I don't. And it's as individual as the reading.
Right.
Does that make sense? Every person, whether you're in a physical body or not in a physical body, is different. We're all individual. Some spirits will only speak telepathically, and some will allow you to hear them. But I think it takes more for them to form words, don't you, Beth?
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And they don't have a voice box, so how are they doing that? It's
right.
It's amazing. It's amazing that they find the energy to do what they do.
Yeah. I think sometimes with some of them, they find it important that we can explain that voice or no, it's a male voice, or you know what I mean?
Right.
It's so individual.
And I don't know why, but on electrical, the Echo Box, the Spirit Box, they seem to be able to manipulate that better than actually having the sound come out that we can hear with our natural ears.
Right. Yeah.
They're able to energetically manipulate that better.
Yeah. Their energy. So, yeah. Do you girls believe in telekinesis? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Michelle,
it's energy. It's focused energy. Why not? It's like It's almost like saying, do you believe somebody could have a beautiful singing voice? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe somebody could have the talent of focus to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, and oftentimes it's done accidentally. And that always makes me think of Debbie Markham. One time called me up and she was just freaking out because she moved into a new home, and the spirit she kept getting the sense she was trying to get things done. Now Debbie's also a medium, and as things are ramping up, she's like, oh my God, stop. And she screamed. Well, when she screamed, on another floor in her house, she had the round light bulbs over her mirror.
Oh yeah.
They exploded.
Yeah.
Now she wasn't focused on making that happen, but that energy did it. So
Well, kind of like the same thing of a poltergeist when a child is coming into puberty. All that energy, all that sexual energy that they don't know what to do with, and all the changes in their body can make things happen in the house. Can make things fly off the shelf. Can make
Mhm.
light bulbs explode. Can
Right.
make lights go on and off. All
Yeah.
that energy.
Good night and happy new year, Kathy. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Kathy.
Good sleep. Okay, and RJ says 2 trillion galaxies, 300 million Earth-like planets in our own galaxy. Abduction is a way of life out there and changing DNA on planets. The universe is one big experiment. Soon we will be doing the same thing. Well,
I remember, was it Twilight or Outer Limits? Very similar to that, RJ, where we were test tube experiments for something bigger out there.
Mhm.
It just really brought back a memory when you said that of that episode.
Yeah. That's
Which was scary when you think about it, that we are some kind of experiment that people are just playing with.
But if you think about it, that's very well said, dear. We do it even on our own planet with other species.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
We trap animals and experiment on them, and
put mascara in their eyes and
yeah. I mean,
stuff like that.
Yeah. So
sorry, I'm moving around.
Getting uncomfortable. So Mandy, being a medium, I see myself as a telephone exchange to the other side.
Yeah.
My one downfall is I tend to sleep a lot afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, it's funny, Mandy, Beth and I, we brought that point up last night. We were talking about, Beth brought it up, ego. When we do readings, spirit gets all the credit. Yeah, we are that medium. We're called mediums because we are that middle person.
Right.
We don't.
We're the telephone.
Credit. We're the telephone.
Yeah.
All we are is that mouthpiece.
When somebody calls you that you won the jackpot, it's not the telephone that should get the credit.
Right. Yeah. It's the person that's paying you. Yeah. So to take. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Can it be draining?
I'm honored to be the telephone.
Right.
But
I didn't used to
humbled to be the telephone.
Yeah. In my younger days, I was not honored or happy about it. But then, as I get older, I learned this is why you're here.
And I got to tell you, those mediums and psychics who let their head get gigantic are in probably in, and I don't want to judge it, but probably in for a pretty huge fall.
Yeah.
Because I just can't believe spirit is going to look the other way with that.
Right.
And not that spirit is vengeful, but again, balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, that's a topic that we could really
we could voice of the elders, right?
Yeah, that's why we started the show, basically, is to be the voice of the elders, the ones that have been doing it for a long time, and to help the public to know that sadly you can't trust everybody out there. I never
don't get stuck worshiping somebody.
Right.
They're going to fall off of that throne that you put them on every time because they didn't ask to be put there, first of all.
Right.
And second of all, they're human. Don't get caught up in that celebrity or the person that's popular at the moment.
Yeah. We're all that same person. If you're out there bragging, I'm a psychic or whatever, odds are you might not be. It's
Right.
all, and it's, it's a show, it's whatever.
I'm a shaman. No, you're not. Because if you were a shaman, you wouldn't have to
You
tell
wouldn't be
anybody.
saying it. Right, exactly. Our biggest job on this planet with being mediums is to help other people empower themselves and realize, I can do this. I can talk to my loved ones. They can hear me.
Yes.
And
Trust your intuition. Trust
if
that
I
inner voice.
allow that telepathic communication, or the feelings I'm getting, or the things I'm seeing, or what I'm seeing in my dreams, I'll know what they're saying to me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And you have to, but you start just like any muscle you want to strengthen. You have to start doing the work and start lifting the heavy weights and trusting what you're getting. I think that's the hardest thing. I see people not trusting their own body is telling them this is dangerous, or this is good, or this isn't good, and they don't listen to their own body.
Right.
We're like a antenna.
Yeah.
Your gut's going to tell you. So listen.
You're going to know if it's right. Yeah. And, I know that you and I do the same thing when we do readings. We talk to our clients and let them know, I'm not looking for an every 2-month client here. I don't want you to keep coming back to me.
I want to teach you to be okay without me. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do this. You don't need me.
Right. If you need somebody to listen to, sure, come in. I need that. We all need that. Mm-hmm. But as far as your big life assist choices, we're not going to make them for you. We'll give you advice on what we feel is going on or what's around you. But I feel sorry for people that do try to tell people, oh, you should leave that person or go play the lottery or whatever it is that they give that advice for, because we are human and we have free will. So things can change.
And if you pay me $300, I will get rid of that attachment for you. Run.
Does that not make you sick to your stomach?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean,
I get that so often.
That's abuse. That's abuse.
It is. It's a scam. Okay, so we're way behind here. Michelle, I get tired a lot if I do a lot of readings, yes. Or I'm at a very active location. I eat chocolate. Something about it brings up the blood sugar and endorphins and such. That's interesting.
Okay. I get a lot tired. I did a lot. Okay, protein. I found out when I would go do big events, I have to eat protein in the morning to get through. So I wonder if that wouldn't help you. I don't eat like toast or
carbs.
Yeah, any carbs. I just eat the meat or the eggs before I go do it. And it will help you get through the day. Lots of water during the day. So it probably isn't an individual thing, but for me, protein works. You might want to try it.
Aw, Mandy, that's so sweet. I'm honored now, but I'm more blessed to keep learning from you, lovely ladies.
We learn from you, T. Yeah, we learn from you too.
We're learning from Michelle. We're learning from you. We're learning from everybody here. Michelle, my dad was my guide of the day today. Aw, Jonathan Lento has showed up. I surrendered to them to choose who and what I need at the moment.
Hi, Michelle. Yeah, Mandy, awesome. You're exactly right about changing. We're not here to change people's ideas or.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Our husbands, Barry and I, are the best psychos out there.
They are. I have to agree with you, RJ. You're the best psychos.
The voice you hear in your head, like, no, Jonathan, or yes, I always follow.
Oh, yep.
When it's in your head and in your heart and it doesn't feel wrong, it's probably right.
Yeah, if you're doing something, for me, it's if I'm doing something I shouldn't be or I'm making the wrong decision, My stomach gets in knots. I start to sweat. I shake a little bit. One example, and this isn't a good example because I don't want to, I got my COVID shots and I got a booster. It's all up to you whether you do that. But there was one time that I was in line to get a flu shot. This was way before COVID. And that started happening to me. And I got the hell out of that line. And I don't think there was anything wrong with flu shots. I think there was something going on with me that if I would have got that flu shot at that moment, I would have been sicker or it would have hurt me somehow.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that is stuck in my head profoundly, that one of the times that I truly listened in my younger days to what my body was telling me.
Yeah. And then we have those times where we go, why didn't I listen? All the signs were there. I knew that. Spirit was trying to guide me. Okay, Mandy, how sometimes can we expect others to believe us when they can't see what we see? Yeah. As a kid, I realized I was expecting people to change their whole belief system, but now expecting my ability, I'm so much happier. And I love helping others. Yeah.
And my truth doesn't have to be your truth.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
And, we can't expect people to believe us. When people come in and they say, you can't read me.
Yeah.
I know they're challenging me and daring me and say, okay, have a nice
Probably
day.
Can't. You got a big old ass wall up there.
Yeah. And if that's why you're coming to me, I don't want to read you.
Right. No.
So have a nice day. Yeah.
I was out digging crystals, and two gentlemen were having some opposing ideas that I was trying to keep quiet, but they kept at me, asked me if I was a Baptist. I don't know why. And so we're saying some things that I thought I can't be silent about. And gently, I said a few things. I said, aren't you judging? Things like that. And then I said to the one man, well, how do you feel about psychics? And he went on the evil and how they take money. And I said, oh, I'm a psychic. Well, then he changed his tune, well, blah, blah, blah. It's so funny how they backpedal at that moment.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, and I think this a lot, and please don't kill me because I'm saying in the South, but I notice it more when we're traveling in the South, that they say whatever they're thinking. They don't know me from anybody, and they just think I agree with them automatically. Don't do that.
Right.
I don't do it. I don't do it to them. And why do they just automatically think they can spew their hate and I'm going to sit there quiet? I just don't understand that mindset.
Yeah.
Deb, help me.
I can't.
I just don't get
I'm
it.
with you on that one. I don't get it either. I don't get it either.
We can dig crystals and talk about a million other things. The nature, what the weather is, whether you got a crystal or not.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring up things that could be very controversial if you don't know what the other person's feelings is.
Right.
So,
right.
Maybe that's how we start with peace, is just knowing that not everybody agrees with you.
Right. And, a lot of it, like you're talking about, this happens a lot in that part of the country, in the South. People are a product of their environment. If it's the norm to do in that area, or the norm to do something in this area, people are a product of their environment. And again, like you said, we have to love people and accept people for whatever the belief is.
Respect each other's space, respect each other, that they, you don't know that person. You don't know what their belief system is.
Yeah.
And there's so many other things in this world to talk about. We don't have to talk about those things.
No.
and just assume that everybody is waving the Republican flag with you. Not Republican. What is that? What is that flag that everybody hates? I mean, the Civil War flag, the
Yeah.
Dixie flag. I can't think what it's called. But not everybody's waving that. You know, we're
No.
not waving it. So
And everybody is entitled to wave whatever flag they want.
exactly.
As
Just
long
don't wave it in
as-
my face and expect me to agree with it.
From none. That's
Yeah. Because silence is agreement. And that's where we're learning as spiritual warriors to stand up and as kindly as we can say, I don't agree with that. And maybe we shouldn't speak of that right now, you know,
right.
or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the
Exactly.
situation calls for.
Okay. And
But we,
Jonathan,
you
you're
know,
right,
any
that's
more than having racist jokes that somebody doesn't say, oh, that's not appropriate.
Yeah.
You know,
And yeah,
there's
that's
got to
where
be
I
people that
can't.
stand up and say, not in my presence. You know?
Yeah. I that's something I can't be okay with.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Or
And
LBG, you know, you can't, we shouldn't
exactly.
be silent about that.
No,
so-
we shouldn't.
And that's one of the
Everybody's
subjects that
entitled.
came up, crystal digging. So
Mhm. Yeah.
that's why I had to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. And we could have a whole nother show on all that. And we might.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle says, I would love to ask for any positive energy that folks would like to send to Kentucky would be appreciated. More damage from high winds. Oh my God, they've been through it.
Are you
The
kidding me?
tornado
More?
areas and flooding throughout the state.
Such
Is
a
that
beautiful
going on
state.
She says,
Kentucky
it's
is a beautiful
cyclone.
state, by the way.
The problem I find is that most who do that are actually ignorant. Oh, yeah, she's on to a different topic, but you're right. Yeah, so everybody tonight, please send some protection and love and positive energy to everybody in that area in the line of any danger.
And I don't know how
Whether
many of you
it's
have been to
been-
Kentucky. It is a gorgeous state.
I have
And
roots in Kentucky.
to see the destruction is just heartbreaking. I mean, it is mostly for human loss and property loss, but yeah, it's had its toll. It's had its fair share and more of tragedy.
Yeah, absolutely, it has. Thank you, Gina. That's the word we were looking for. I couldn't get it either. Confederate.
Confederate. Thank you. And I was just at a Confederate graveyard, so I should have known the name.
Mandy, I want to grow as a person, but how can you when others can be so judgmental and demand you think like them? That's
I think
what,
we got to quit caring what they think.
yeah, you know, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're coming into more loving times, more accepting times. We're evolving to a higher species. And it's time to not judge other people, especially for who they are, their gender, who they love, their, you know, binary, non-binary. I don't care. We shouldn't judge anybody on any of that, period.
Right.
Inside, we're all the same.
Right.
We're born into a body. We thrive. We want love. We want respect. We want all of the same things. Food.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so with
So
you.
I think we kind of touched on it, because what happens, Manny, is we start judging the people judging.
Yeah.
So maybe our peace, or where we can come to peace with it, is first we got to let go of their expectations or judgments on us and not care, because it's just a mirror that they're put up a mirror because they're speaking to themselves. But maybe we can go back. I think a few people in the chat have hit on it. Where they grew up, their upbringing, what they've been told, the stories they've been told. That's where maybe we can find apathy for them, that this is what they were taught and this is all they know. I don't think it should be an excuse, but an understanding of where this, I don't know how to put it other than spewing, comes from. Maybe that's where we start. I'm struggling with it. Deb knows I'm struggling with it.
Yeah.
So, but this is good to have this conversation. I think it helps everybody.
Yeah. It does.
Because those two men that I was digging with, they were very fine up until that point. We were having a good time, laughing.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much good about them. And then they had to switch to this darkness. As I saw it, it was, my judgment is it was darkness.
Right. So there again, we judge as well.
Right.
But, about, damn it, we're spiritual warriors. And when you see hatred being caused, harm being caused,
you got to stand up.
Are we supposed to sit and keep our mouth shut?
No.
I mean, really?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying from what Mandy was talking about.
Right.
If she wants to have any compassion for them in her brain, that's where she has to go.
Yeah.
To have peace with it.
Right.
Not that they should ever be excused for that kind of action.
Right. But we can't live our life, for the acceptance of others.
Right.
As long as we know we are doing no harm to anybody and we are being our true self.
Right.
That's,
And once you become an activist or someone who speaks out, people start feeling it more. And I must have had my boundaries down that day because they weren't feeling it. But they felt it once I started speaking. And I was trying to do it with as much love as I could. I really was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Barry was probably secretly putting that "don't open your mouth" bubble around.
He was actually on a different hill, thank God, because I could imagine his face at that moment. Like.
Yeah.
But I did walk away. I luckily Spirit saved me because it started to rain a little bit and my phone was out in where it could get wet. So I had a reason to leave that hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And go elsewhere. Yeah.
And Jonathan says, okay, yep, we're judging. We do not like when people on certain ghost shows take
what? On certain goat shows? What?
Ghost.
Oh, Ghost.
Like,
yeah. That's a whole nother show.
Everything's a demon, and so I tell myself I don't do any of those shows. I really don't. But I tell myself it's entertainment.
Right.
It's entertainment. And then I tell people true paranormal investigation or research is nothing like what you see on TV.
Nope. You better be good at sitting in the dark by yourself and sitting there for hours and going through evidence for hours, and it's not glorified.
Yeah, you're not running into demons every other corner, around every corner. And yeah. Yeah.
No, you are not.
Topic we could talk
if
about.
You're lucky, you're going to find a little girl or little boy or someone who just melts your heart or. Yeah.
Amen. Michelle, I try to treat everyone how I want to be treated. How others treat me is their karma. Boom.
Boom.
Just be me and send them love.
Yeah.
I love
and that's the golden rule for almost every religion, every spirituality is that right there.
Yeah. Trina, hi. Welcome.
Hey, hi.
We're darn near at the end of the show, but hey, we're still here.
Hey, Trina. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole karma thing because And maybe some of that comes with age, but I think over the past, I don't know how many years, I've really fought I'm working on what other people think of me has nothing to do with me.
Right.
I can't take that on.
Well,
I I have to
no,
better myself for me and not think about because everybody's, people judge you. That's all there is to it.
constantly. And we judge them. Hate to
Yeah.
say it, without
Hmm.
knowing, without
Hmm.
consciously doing,
Yeah.
I catch
I mean,
myself.
hopefully at our age, we do it on a more honest
Yes.
level.
Yes. But I was thinking about this aging thing and I thought, that saying, speak up even if your voice shakes? You know that saying?
Hmm.
My voice doesn't shake anymore.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I know that I'm
Yeah.
over that part of it, of being nervous about it.
But this is why our show is Voice of the Elders,
Exactly.
because we have voices and we're not afraid to use them.
And it doesn't shake anymore when we use them.
They don't, no, they don't shake anymore. Sadly, along with that does come some opinion and some judging. It's
Somewhat.
judging others.
Oh,
We try not to be critical of people, but at the same time, we're going to speak out for what's right.
right. Especially if it's an underdog or someone who doesn't have a voice for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just an injustice. And if we don't speak up about the injustices of the gay community or the people of color, it's just going to continue.
Right.
It's when people start calling out the crystal digging guys, because they're going to think twice, I hope, before they say something to a stranger that they have no idea what
Right.
their belief system is. I don't know if it will matter or not. To be honest, it's not me. It's not for me to know. But maybe, even if it's just a little bit of change, we made some kind of change.
And even if, we say enough to make people think, and sometimes as a human being, I can honestly tell you, people have said some really nasty things to me that really made me think. And once in a while I go, you know what? They're right. That's something I need to work on.
Right.
Or, maybe that belief is something I need to evaluate.
Yeah,
So
I think we've talked about that a lot. Like if you get angry about what somebody said, then you found some truth in it. If it's about you, I don't mean about other communities.
right.
Then you have to, that's a chance to heal. It's a chance to look at it and say, oh, why do I find truth in that? Either I'm also lying to myself, or there's truth in it that I need to work on, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And sometimes we are faced with those mirrors.
Exactly.
And it's all
But
growth.
what a beautiful chance to heal that. Because guess what? We don't have to take it into the next life or for the rest of our life. For this life,
Right.
we don't have to live with it anymore because we've healed it. And we won't have to take it into the next life if we haven't learned that lesson while we're here. So it's a beautiful opportunity to heal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the biggest healer on the entire universe is love.
Exactly.
Not only for others, and I mean others of all kinds, but also for ourselves. And that's another thing that 22 is going to bring into fruition is mostly women are learning to take care of themselves, to love ourselves.
And to find their voice.
To find their voice. We've always been caregivers, and that's not a bad thing. It's okay to be a caregiver.
Oh.
But it's not okay to set us on the back burner while we do it, because then we don't last long. And then, after a while, we build anxiety and depression and anger, and then we're not doing what we want to do anyways. So
don't feel alone, ladies. I'm speaking to the feminine energy. It can be men too, but your feminine energy, if you're feeling empty, because I think a lot of us are feeling that right now. But again, it's an opportunity to look, why are we empty? How do we fill our tank? Standing up to say, I'm not going to give to where I'm exhausted any longer. And that doesn't do anybody any good.
Right.
So, yeah, get ready for that feminine energy shift.
Oh, yeah, big time. And if the feeling empty might be the perfect opportunity, and it's probably there, for us to start filling it in a healthy way, in a positive way.
Right.
You know, finding out finally, how do I make me happy and healthy and content, and what do I need to do for me so I can do for the world.
Right.
Yeah. The goddess energy is that's what it's all about right now. Love outwardly and inwardly.
Put that oxygen mask over your own face first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't help anybody when you're exhausted and depleted. There's no way. So,
amen.
And we all need to tell ourselves that. We're not sitting here saying we're the experts. We're working on it as well. I mean,
every day, every single day.
I remember when Deb had 2 brothers to take care of, and then RJ injured himself, and she's taking care of the kids. She really didn't have any alternatives.
Right.
She had to give and give and give of herself till she was completely depleted. So there are situations where you have, so that's more important that we store up that energy for those crisis times, for those times when we really have to be selfless, completely selfless.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. And sometimes it is so draining that you can't do for yourself, but you know that in time you will.
Yes. Yes, Mandy. So Mandy, I was afraid of becoming an activist because I thought it would make me less spiritual, and that is the opposite. It's the absolutely opposite. We can't, again, silence is agreement. We can't just turn the other cheek anymore, and we can't just turn a blind eye.
Right.
We know what happened in Germany when that happened, and it didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
So
we have to stand up for the rights of those who, everybody, anybody that's women's rights. Our rights are being pulled. We're going back.
I want to see what happens in June if it gets overturned. I'm gonna buy everybody their time off to come with us, and we're going to fill up this RV, and we're going to DC, and we're shutting that sucker down.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So there are things, my plan was to say we have to pick our battles, but how in the heck we have to pick our battles.
You do have to pick your battles.
Especially as women, but holy cow, there's so many right now.
There's so many, but it's the one that your heart tells you have to.
Yeah.
And there's some issues that are bigger than, I don't want to say other issues, but are at the peak at that moment that you have to address and be a part of.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not.
Tons.
I'm sorry.
I said right now there's tons of them.
Yeah.
Women's rights, gay rights, trans rights, Black lives.
And every right affects another right.
Right.
So you got to remember that. We lose a women's right, it affects all the other people out there fighting for rights.
Yeah.
So voting rights, that's a big one. One of the biggest, I think, because if our vote doesn't matter anymore, we have less influence than ever, so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're 4 minutes past our time. Go figure. Are
we allowed to do that on StreamYard?
Oh, yeah.
They cut you off?
No.
Oh, they don't cut you off?
They don't
That's
know.
good.
We're not Blog Talk anymore.
I
That's
know.
the
I
past.
just haven't got used to the rules if there is any.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure how long we can go. I haven't pushed that yet, but
yeah.
we'll figure it out. We'll learn it. But
Well, it doesn't ask you a time, does it? It doesn't ask you how long you're going to be on, does it?
doesn't ask you to end.
Oh.
No.
Right.
So that's interesting. But we have some things coming up. I know RJ is planning a show for the end of the month with Mark Yeager. That's going to be totally phenomenal. So everybody keep an eye open for that. Beth and Stephanie are going to be restarting Ghoul Talk.
And you're going to come on sometimes too, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yes. I'd like to
So
talk.
it'll be Deb too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, puppies, just a minute.
And do you have a start date on that, Beth?
The only reason I don't is because I'm kind of waiting for my brother-in-law to catch up with us because he has internet ability in his RV. So then I can be more doing regular shows because I know I have the ability then.
There you go.
So I'm gonna say within the month.
Okay. So everybody keep an eye out for that. And that show, if you liked this one, you'll like that even more because that's even more goddess energy.
And that's true with Sacred Journeys. We'll also be going back to, we're probably going to do twice a month to start out with.
Okay.
While we're on the road. Yeah, but if something comes up, some really exciting spiritual stuff starts happening, we're going to start filming. So
Right. And we want to remind everybody that my Haunted Diary, you can find on Facebook or Haunted Diary Communion. I always forget that part. I think because I'm a recovering Catholic.
Right.
Pun intended. Anyway, my Haunted Diary Communion is on Facebook and YouTube. Look them up. They do some great episodes.
They really do.
Stay tuned.
Like it and subscribe to these YouTube channels. These small YouTube channels need to become big YouTube channels.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to
We need
Voice
your
of
help.
the Elders Radio, my Haunted Diary Communion, and Mystical Awakenings with RJ and Deb. And who knows what else we're going to with.
And go to RJ and Deb's store when you're in their area because it's a really cool place to learn things and to buy things.
Awakenings, just like the radio show. Yeah.
And get readings and get numerology. Yeah.
And Reiki and chakra balance.
And Reiki,
yes.
All of it.
Yeah. So, and I also want to ask that everybody remember to send love and healing to Kentucky. To put a big ball of protection around them and all that may be in this path.
And Colorado's burning too, aren't they?
Oh, geez. I have not turned any news on in a few days, so
I think so. Colorado is. Yeah, there's a lot. So, even if you have to just do it like start with Kentucky and then say any place else in the United States, any place else in the continent, any place else in the world that's suffering.
Yeah.
It all helps.
It sure does. And our whole planet needs help. Jonathan, thank you for being here with us. It's great to see you. We appreciate you. Mandy, we appreciate you. And we loved our time with you as well. Much love to you.
And Michelle.
We love you. We miss you, girl. We really do. Yeah. We need a retreat.
RJ, Kathy, Terry,
Tim, and Kevin, and everybody.
Yeah, Kevin and.
But Brenda, thank you. I miss you like crazy. I haven't
Trina.
seen you in years. Yeah. Happy New Year, my friend. Know that mom and dad are right there with you. Have no doubt, girl. I know your mom. Whew. She's strong. So we will be doing this again. Who knows when? We might just make this Ghoul Talk instead of just a Beth and Deb.
There you go. You go.
So.
And Ghoul Talk, it doesn't have to be just about spirits. We can, it's a play on words of Girl Talk. So we can talk about a lot of things.
anything.
Anything.
Almost.
Feminine energy, male energy, whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely. So everybody, Happy New Year. Thank you for hanging out with us. We love you all. Yeah, I'm on coffee,
I know.
believe it or not.
I gave in and got it. Bourbon Barrel Ale. Kentucky. Kentucky's represented.
Awesome. Okay. See,
Yeah.
he's sending healing via beer.
Yeah. Be a beer.
Via beer.
Supporting their economy.
You got it. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
So we will see you all soon. Love and light be with you. May all of your
And I have to take my dogs for a walk.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're barking at me a little bit here.
Give them
all
kisses.
Right, love you guys. Love and light.
See you soon.
If you can find this book, I found it at the dollar store.
Way of Love.
It's softening my heart to some beliefs. So, yeah. And it is. It's the way of love. Love is the answer for everything. Everything else is fear. Yeah.
Love is the total positive energy. Fear.
The goddess energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So stay in a place of love, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. It's been great.
Bye.
Bye.